Today we're talking about function operations. We're going to be using our four favorite operations: plus, minus, times, and divide. We can do the exact same things that we would do with functions that we can do with numbers. We simply treat this part of a function as a single unit, put it in parentheses, and we can perform the operations. So for example, f of x plus g of x, notice I'm adding those two functions, would simply be x plus 2 plus 3x minus 3. From there, I know you could all easily solve that, combine like terms and all that stuff. You don't need to in this case. This is kind of as far as we need to go. Similarly, we can do f of x minus g of x, which would be x plus 2 minus 3x minus 3. Keep going. F of x times g of x would be x plus 2 times 3x minus 3. Now, at this point, we don't have the mathematic ability to simplify that. We've never talked about it. You'll cover that in secondary too. We'll keep going. F of x divided by g of x would be x plus 2 over 3x minus 3. Now, in math, we typically would write these so that they look like this. F plus g of x. I'm going to go ahead and just finish putting out all of them so you can see what they'd really look like. Mathematicians want to do as little bit of writing as possible. That's more typical of what you're going to see. However, one thing I want to point out is on the problems that we're going to be doing, we're going to be finding this for a value for x. So let's go ahead and plug in f plus g of 5. Well, we would simply take this one, since it's addition, and plug in 5 for x. We would get 5 plus 2 plus 3 times 5 minus 3. And I'm just going to keep the parentheses to keep it consistent. We then get 7 plus, that's 15 minus 3, which would be 12, which would be 19. And there's your final answer. The other operations work very similarly. You just simply plug in the number for x and then solve. However, if you would prefer, sometimes it might be easier to plug in 5 into the equations and then do the operation. So for example, f of 5 would be 5 plus 2, which would be 7. 3 times 5 minus 3 is 12, and then add those two numbers together. You would get the same answer. Now let's go ahead and look at just another example. And this time we have f of x is equal to 3x minus 1, and g of x is equal to 3x minus 2. We want to find g of f of 10. Well, we would simply plug in our numbers. So we get f of 10 is equal to 3 times 10 minus 1. G of 10 is equal to 3 times 10 minus 2. We get, that'll be 29. This one will be 28. Notice it was g over f, so that means our g value has to be on top, and our f value will be underneath, giving us the answer g over f of 10 is equal to 28 over 29. As always, ask me questions if you have them.